Right, we're just about to wrap up the conversation on bulls and bears on what more can be done to support SMEs. This is coming just right after there was a fire outbreak in Gikomba. There's no report of any casualties. It happened in the wee hours of the morning around 5 a.m. The firefighters were there, but a lot of business property has been damaged in that area, probably worth millions. It's not been valued yet. Kimani Mbugo is following up the details there, but we have a trader from Gikomba here as well who is saying that even if my stall has to be demolished so that we give space for roads, I need to be guaranteed income, and there's no insurance, so it means those traders are starting from scratch as we speak. Okay. And there's no guarantees from there.
Before we get a reaction from Victor Otieno on how to ensure that micro enterprises can get insurance, let's look at your tweets, which we have about 5 of them. These are your thoughts. Irene Asua, access to financial support process is flawed, needs urgent and serious reforms. The cost of running enterprises is expensive. And then we have fake mentors. My goodness, all over in business forums. There is dire need for a structured SME support system. How do you tell a fake mentor from a real mentor? We'll find out. Indimuli 001 says one way to support SMEs by opening up public procurement for them by the government and having alternative finance proposals. Public procurement. All right, no name there. We need to reduce operational costs. Electricity, fuel, business fees, bank rates, price of basic commodities also affect SMEs as they end up spending all their money on their daily needs. Daybreak, excellent show. Thank you. Sana. Thank you very much. And then, that's Nugi Live. Thank you. Nugi Live. Yeah. Yes, that's from Nugi Live there. It's what we just read, and there's still more coming through. He or she calls himself Green Shop. In comparison to a business, it's probably an SME. It's probably an SME. Yes, in comparison to a business, a country's value is not depletable. How does this affect the lending terms and rates as well? In fact, let's get a sample of that. And we'll start with you. You wanted to jump into the issue of the insurance and covering the businesses. Yes. Coming with the backdrop of what we saw in Gikomba. It's happening even as we speak.
I think that presents, gives us a snapshot of the way we treat SMEs in this country. As much as we can say government is not supporting SMEs, it's the entire ecosystem players who are ignoring SMEs. So these are banks, these are insurance, and anyone who's providing support to SMEs. You had also said media. Even media. So we talk about SME has become a buzzword that whenever it's relevant to us, we discuss it, then we shelve it. Yeah, so this just gives us a scenario of the extent to which we've ignored SMEs. But what I wanted to add to is the responsibility of the SME or the entrepreneur. For me, I strongly believe that the way we start our businesses determines the speed at which we die. Based on my experience as a consultant, you find that a lot of us start business haphazardly. We sit down in a bar or at home and we say, okay, let's start a business. We end up doing a car wash or doing something. I'm not saying car wash is a bad business, but the veracity of our business models is always flawed. So we don't look at business as a science. We don't talk to customer. Before I even start the business, have I talked to my customer? You don't have to have gone to school to do that. Yeah, can you talk to 1 or 2 customers? Do you think you can buy this product? At what price? Then you structure your business around the customer. Something has actually occurred to me as you say that. Every aspiring politician, when they begin to hit the ground, will open up a car wash for the youth in that area. Will open up this or that. Talk to me about what should they be thinking about if they really want to empower the youth across the country. For me, with the logic that you're bringing away. I always focus on the entrepreneur because you determine your own destiny. So it means that, for example, before you start whatever business that you want to do, can you look for information? Mind you, in Kenya, we have the highest internet penetration rate. So it means you have access to information globally. So whatever business that you want to do, you can actually be able to access whatever information and run the business successfully. So then when you're successful or you've done something for yourself, then you can discuss about challenges. You can't talk about financing, yet your business model is flawed. So I think as business people, we also need to take responsibility for our business and for our own destiny. Okay, yeah.
Maybe just to respond to the issue of the politician is looking at creating an enabling environment. That is really the idea. for the youth and generally the citizens of this country. So when you're just helping somebody with a car wash, it's like it's a short-term measure that's not sustainable.
Yeah.
So the best for them is to help, pick up the issues from the youth or in their constituencies and take it to Parliament or any other platform that they have to make sure that the environment is an enabling one for businesses to start. For instance, one of the things they can do for the young people is to set up incubation centers, which, as manufacturing sector has been saying, people don't know how to do manufacturing, in terms of systems, equipments, what is it required, the technology and the know-how. The information is very low, especially in the counties. So how can incubation centers come to support? In all the 47 counties, because the counties have enjoyed, from the State of the Nation, I saw 1.7 trillion since devolution started, has trickled down into the counties. How is that supporting SMEs?
How would you define incubation centers in a simple
In
language?
a simple language, it's a place where somebody with a startup or ideas can come there, be handheld. Because somebody said they are fake mentors.
Like a training ground.
You
With
kill
real
the
mentors.
with the mentors that are there to support you in
fake
different ways. For instance, product innovation.
Yeah.
A lot of times, instead of starting what another person has started,
Yes.
you come up with your idea. It's incubated in a way that you can think through what innovation that is, what technology can you use, and even practice, start something, do product testing, and get all these institutions which the government has already. We have Kirdi that are there to support you also with incubation. You have Kenya Industrial Estates that should give workspaces, even for SMEs, like Gikomba. If they can come and buy some of those spaces and create real workspaces that are affordable.
Yeah.
They have gone market rate, so even an SME can still afford those workspaces.
Okay.
You have people like Kipi for patenting. A lot of SMEs have new ideas, they are stolen and they go away. So those are the things we're expecting of the government through its institutions, which are already existent, to strengthen them, to support SMEs. Also, a lot of SMEs, somebody from Kisumu has to come to Nairobi to access Kipi, for instance.
Goodness.
Why can't we devolve some of these services in those counties? But talking of a structured way of supporting SMEs, at CAM we have the SME Hub, where we have identified so many challenges for SMEs, the biggest being a policy issue. So many policies are not working for them. From taxation, you find these days SMEs are taxed almost similar to large companies. The most recent even business licenses. You find even to register a company. Previously there was some provision for SMEs, now there isn't. You are paying just like any other large company. So those business registration challenges is part of incubation. Even a toolkit. We are looking at a toolkit. If I want to start a food processing plant, what do I need in terms of design and layout? Because again, there will be issues of safety and standards. You have to comply to regulations, whether it's from KEBS, KRA. Somebody needs to support you in a way that once you get out of that space, you can pay rent elsewhere and survive. So policy is a major issue. Utility, somebody said, sometimes they access power very expensively, they are not able to afford. Kenya Power, at least from our advocacy, they have been able to come up with a liaison officer for SMEs. Previously, they had only for large industries because, of course, manufacturers pay 60% of the power costs in this country. But through advocacy from us, they've been able to have a liaison officer to support SMEs to access power in all the regions in a way that it's reliable and they can be able to produce. We also have created a membership base where you can come in cheaply at 10,000 only. You can be a member of CAM. And the importance of this is the networking opportunities, like what we did with the Changamka Shopping Festival. We had SMEs all over the place, and even some large companies actually were buying booths for SMEs. You find some companies support over 50 SMEs.
Although we're waiting for such festivals in the counties.
Yes. Already
Yeah.
Mombasa has told us to go there. The businesses must be ready, the citizens must be ready. Because we are saying you need to know what is made locally. The cheap imports are affecting SMEs also. I know Gikomba is also relying on that. How can we partner with Gikomba to also retail our products? Because SMEs who are in manufacturing need also affordable retailers. So how can they, instead of just buying Chinese goods, how can they also partner with our SMEs to sell their yogurt?
Fair enough. Good question.
Yeah, Mary, what more can be done?
To move you from an SME, do you classify yourself as an SME first? And if you do, what do you need to get you to the next level?
First of all, I would like the government mostly to start engaging the SME. We need to have a dialogue. Let them start engaging us so that they can know what are the challenges we have. Because I always believe that you can never solve a problem from a distance. You need to be closer to the people. Let them engage us. Again, let's also have public-private partnerships with the government. You see, like what has happened in Rwanda. Rwanda, they came, the private sector came on board, the communities came on board, and the government came on board, and they were able to make Rwanda the most cleanest country in East Africa. So they need to engage us, put us closer so that we engage. The KRA, labor people, they also need to put us closer so that we can engage on matters to do with tax. Most SMEs do not even understand how to file tax. When it comes to labor, this labor issue, these documents, unless you are a lawyer, it took me forever to understand the labor issues, because those are legal issues. So in most cases, what happens to SME, we have to engage a lawyer. You have to go extra mile.
And sometimes you can't even afford it.
Yes. And also you need to invest also to a good accountant for SME, which you can't also afford. Another thing I would also like the government to do is that I would like them to simplify the tender document, because we have people in the rural areas, like the mamambogas, who want to start doing business and they need to be empowered. Can this document be simplified? Can we also be engaged when it's been done? Let them engage us so that we can be able to ensure that it is easy for us to be able to participate in those. And also incentives. Let the government start. When they said let's give women, youth and people with disability business, it was very good, because there was a lot of training. There was a lot of training, there was a lot of engagement, and that is how I benefited, because I started understanding how to participate on that. Also let them start bringing more training on board.
Training opportunities will make a big
capacity,
difference.
Capacity building to SME. And also funding. As they say that this funding is going to be accessible, let it be funding that it is patient. It should be patient, that we are given the money and we are given some grace period to pay, because right now it is so expensive to access that money, and it takes more. They require you a lot of collateral. Most of us, we don't have collaterals. Most SMEs do not have collateral. So let it be very simple for us to be able to access that money, so that we can actually scale up our business, not to start the business, but to scale up the business. Yes.
So you've actually been able to benefit from some of these government policies, but you say a lot more can be done.